you like to go maybe on the highway?
Yep.
Okay.
Highway.
Okay.
I'm gonna turn off the heaters here.
Yep.
Sure.
These are completely different vehicles than any of the others.
In what ways?
Just everything. The shifter's different, the light switch, every single switch is different. It's like our new ones, we had this one, these ones, if anything breaks on it, we have to practically order it in because these ones use a completely different system since they're a Freightliner instead of a...
Oh, so they don't really make them anymore? You don't have the money?
Exactly.
Does it sound like 600, Jaden?
601.
Yeah, what about 601?
This is a little quieter.
Oh yeah. Well, I think that this one we just put a new, no, that's 603. What's the 602? Because 602 and 603 are both my buses that I work on my list. One of these ones, just this spring, I had to put on a whole new exhaust. We don't even drive these things, but we brought them in to put the battery maintainers on them. And then, boom, you wanna know what happens? Exhaust falls off right as I pull it to the shop. So I put on all new exhaust.
It always seems to happen. You're trying to fix one thing and something else, you know.
That, and then also it's like when we're trying to get rid of these things and like not have to touch them anymore.
Right.
It's like, of course, something has to happen.
Yeah. Gotta go by the protocol, you know. Yeah.
It's like those 800s and stuff. It's like,
This is a major rattle to it.
oh yeah, you have the rear tires, all
Oh, the rear tires?
suspension and everything in this different now. And they're also governed at 60 miles per hour. So only able to get to like about 60. I was
It
there
really
until
messed up
12
everything.
o'clock. I did
Wow, 24 hours?
22 hours. I should have just stayed another 2 hours and got 24. I'm wanting to do a 24-hour here one of these days this like winter.
You should get a medal or some sort of certificate or award.
I got last year I got some award from, it's like parents like nominate like either teachers or principals and all of that.
Where they vote.
Yeah, and somehow I got nominated. I'm like, oh, okay.
But really nice to the kids.
Well, I drive 5 routes in the morning. I drive
That's
Oak
great.
Point, Prairie View. Then I do a high school one to WEC, which is the West Education Center. Then after that, I go to then I do like a PSEO college route, and then I go and pick up a kid for CMS too. CMS too. So, it's a long route. I don't have a single break. I have one break for 5 minutes. And the thing is that I can't even stop for a bathroom break. If I stop anywhere, like if I stop at like a park to go to the bathroom, like that has like an actual
the next route.
Yep. I'll be like about 10 minutes late.
Wow, they're so fortunate to have you.
That's my grandma's house right there.
Oh, how sweet. Hi, Grandma.
Every time I go by it,
Oh,
lay the horn
sweet.
down.
Oh, beautiful. These are beautiful. Are they townhomes?
Yep, those are all the townhomes.
Gorgeous.
They're really nice ones.
What lake is this?
This is
again?
Lake Riley.
Oh, it is Lake Riley. Okay.
It's so funny because Lake Riley's big, but Riley Creek is.
Super small.
Exactly. Yeah.
I used to say to make a bridge over it, you just need one plank of wood and it's done.
Very true.
That's funny.
Plus, it's all covered with trees, so you can't even see the.
Exactly. You only really see the creek in the winter.
But,
Otherwise, it's pretty.
but it's all frozen, so you don't even see the water.
I don't think there's much water that runs through it anyways. Very minimal.
Look at these mansions.
Oh yeah, that's Bear Path for you.
Wait a minute. Well, wait a minute. Okay.
That's
I
Bear
know
Path.
Bear.
Yep.
Huh.
I did a route in there once this year.
Did you really?
You can get lost so easily in there.
Wow. Yeah. We had friends who were picked up. One of Jaden's classmates was not Bear Path, but just down the road here about 2 blocks. Their houses. That's about as close as we ever got. And then his dad would play his friend touring at Christmas services up here at the church. You know,
Oh, okay.
corner up here. Yeah. Christmas and Easter, services. He still sometimes does.
It's like these houses so off to our left are
Like,
a lot.
yeah. Spending creme de la creme.
Oh yeah. Like
But usually you don't see them from this road. You know what I mean? Because
Yep.
because there's leaves on the trees. That's why it's like, oh,
otherwise it's just like, oh yeah, I can see something there.
I can see all the roofs. I'm so short, I can only see the roofs when I pick Jaden up and bring him somewhere. You know.
I love it.
Yeah, Lake Riley is beautiful.
Oh yeah.
It's big, especially for a lake in Eden Prairie.
Oh yeah.
Eden Prairie lakes are small.
Well, it's technically half and half of Eden Prairie and Chanhassen.
Yep.
Both of them.
Cool. I remember when some of these homes in Stonegate were coming up.
See, I don't remember these houses popping up.
Yeah.
Like it.
And it was like overnight. It was like overnight.
Really?
You know, it was like 6 to 8 months.
Boom, 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 boom.
They were developing so fast. Oh yeah. This is a good get up and go.
Oh yeah. 3,600
it says 367 on every Wikipedia. I think 3406 is like C15 or something.
Yeah, that is a C15. This one is technically a C13, but it's a 3106.
3126.
Sounds all the same to me, guys.
Like I said, I've never seen a one doesn't start with the letter 3.
Exactly. They all start with 3.
Okay.
But they don't all start with the 1, 3-1. There's a 3208 which hasn't been made for years.
Those were V8s. Those things. We had one of those up at college, a 3208.
Oh,
That
really?
thing loud.
Was it powerful?
Oh yeah. But
Did
the
it
thing
make a
is,
loud noise or loud sound?
oh, it sounded like a straight pipe, like NASCAR. Then there's also a Detroit V12 out there, and we had one of those.
Did you
up
ever
there.
have an 8.2 Detroit?
I don't know.
And
I can't remember back
You can
in
ask him.
college.
I do know that the Mercedes-Benz was made by Detroit Diesel.
Yes. Detroit did the whole entire.
Because this guy on YouTube said it's not a Detroit engine, but
Mercedes was the manufacturer. Detroit gave them the ideas.
yeah, so technically it's made by them. So
It's kind of like the 6.5 Detroits that they say are inside of those old Chevy trucks.
the Duramax.
No, that's now from 2000 all the way up to 2019, 20, 21, 22. Now that's all Duramax. Before that, they would say that it's a Detroit 6.5 and 6.2.
They haven't made the 6.2 since the 91, I think, or 92.
It was 89 that 6.2s came out because they were also Humvees for the military. But I don't.
And now they only have the 6.6
Yep.
and 2.8.
Yep, Duramax has the 2.8. That's the little V6. But then the 6.6 is all that Duramax has ever made for V8s. And what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, the Detroits that were made for the older Chevy trucks, the pre-Duramax. Everybody says that it's a Detroit. Well, it was actually that Detroit gave Chevy the idea where they took a 454 big block engine, went and took off the heads, went and put, instead of manufacturing it with the spark plug hole, they capped that off and put a glow plug in there, and then raised the heads
The
down.
4x4 was 7.4, and then the 6.0 was called 366.
Yeah.
Those 366s were the loudest gas engines that they whined.
Yep.
They had that.
Oh yeah.
But once they got to higher speeds, they were quiet because they weren't diesel, so they didn't work like.
They mellow out.
Yep.
But, yeah, no, Detroit just gave Chevy the idea. Chevy was making their own engine. But then they just were like, okay, let's farm it out to Isuzu, because Isuzu is the one that actually makes the Duramax engine. I've had 6 Duramaxes.
Have you ever had the 6.6 one?
Every single one I've had is 6.6. I will never buy the 2.6.
2.8, you mean?
2.8.
Why not?
Because they use a wet system for the oil pump belt.
Yeah.
They put a belt on the back of the engine for the oil pump. Instead of a chain, instead of anything else,
Like the paint?
they use an actual rubber belt inside of the engine. And they're premature wear at 30,000. My buddy at Chevy, he's a diesel mechanic for Chevy, and he's already replaced over 100 of them. Practically every day he has to replace one, and he's like, I've never seen one of them over 50,000 miles without getting the second one. He's like, they're horrible engines. Duramax really screwed up on those. But I've had an LB7, I've had an LBZ, LLY, and LMM. Right now I have an had 2 LMLs, and then
I ever had to. Did you know they now have a 6.6 gas as well?
Yep. And my buddy has that in his truck at 2500, and the thing just eats gas like no other. And then in their work truck, they have the 7.3 Godzilla and the Ford F550. They call it the 7.3 Godzilla because it's a gas engine instead of a diesel one like their old ones.
Those, which was also put in internationals to 7.3.
Yep.
Known as G444E.
444E.
Was the 7.3 power stroke. Could also be known as that if it was put in an international.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's what I heard online, that they say sounds almost identical to the Ford power stroke. Or it sounds identical in a Ford to the G444E.
Have you ever heard of a 6.9 IDI or 7.3 IDI? They were a pre-Power Stroke International Harvester engine.
I think so.
They're in the I've got a 1986 F250 with a factory 6.9 IDI, which means indirect injection. So they have a pre-cum chamber that's above the head. They're a very unique engine that not a lot of people know about.
So there was this guy online who switched the old International to a new Cummins, so you could actually hear the old International with the Cummins, sounding like 2 engines.
Huh.
So he's like, you can still hear the DT, the Max Force DT a little bit with the, making it the loudest bus ever because it had previous loud engine and now it has the quiet Cummins. So, but it's not as loud as the Bloomington Cummins would be humming at like just 30 miles an hour.
Oh yeah. No, you do know that those Cummins, you can get them pretty loud. It's just that they put all the emissions on the exhaust that go and make them quiet.
Except if you're on the rear seat, then they're louder.
Oh yeah.
Because the old cats just vibrate, whereas the Cummins always hums more.
Oh yeah. Well, let's just say that I've done a lot of deleting of vehicles, deleting the emission systems. It's kind of a side job that I used to do back a while ago, but I got into some trouble with FDA, not FDA,
EPA?
EPA, yes. The EPA. I got into a little bit of trouble with them for deleting vehicles, and I've made a lot of comments sound pretty good. Because, you don't hear them at all, and then you put a straight pipe on them, get rid of the EGR, where there's no muffler system, nothing. Oh my, yeah, they sound pretty good. It's a nice, deep, throaty sound. Oh. Yeah, no, I got a nice piece of mail from the EPA saying that they find out that I'm still doing that they're be starting an investigation. Yep, I'm gonna be done doing this. So I was making about.
There was this EPA Cat C7 that I heard is junk, and they only made it for like a year or something. That came out like past 2007, and then Cat C7 died in 09. I haven't heard an EPA certified one. I wonder if it sounds different or not. And I'm kind of.
It'd be quiet. It'd be super quiet. Because the exhaust. The thing is that with the EPA, when you put on all these emissions, is that it goes and it muffles everything because it has so much of restrictions that it just quiets everything down. This thing doesn't have a VGT turbo in it, which makes it a lot more throaty, a lot more louder compared to if you go and start up any of these other buses. It's so quiet, you don't hear anything.
Except the wheelchair lift.
Huh?
Except the lift.
Oh,
I rode
lifts are always loud.
I rode on 1081 because the lift was in the back, and the front lift didn't rattle, and one girl didn't want us to have a spare for the last day of school because they hurt her ears, and the driver was like, but lady, this bus is loud with how rattly it is.
Do you want me to start up one of the other 600s so you can get a nice cold start?
Probably just this one.
Huh?
Just the one we're in.
You don't want to hear one of those start up cold?
Maybe I should.
Trust me, you'll like it.
I think 601.
601? Okay. I'm just going to park this right here. I'm going to shut it off so that you can get the best sound. Because, these things, they'll smoke, they'll throat, gurgle, everything.
That's all. Thanks for watching, Sergeant Jaden, and peace out.